Now all you people, I want you to set those headphones down. Get up. I said get up off your chairs and sing it with me one time. One time. It don't cost nothing, but you feel real good. Here we go. It's the Humpday happy hour hangout. Yes, it's the Humpday happy hour hangout. Oh yes, let's all get used at the director's garage. It's a Humpday happy hour hangout.
Oh God, I can't get enough of it. Can't get enough of it, folks. Can't get enough of it. Hey everybody, welcome to the Humpday Happy Hour Hangout here at the Director's Garage. HE-R9 from HiFiman. This is an OG, guys. I pulled one out of the closet, out of the crates for this one. I'm your host and resident idiot, Michael, and today we got some stuff to do today. A lot of stuff to get through today, and I've got a viewer system, phenomenal. You guys are going to love it. It's fantastic. I hope your week is going well, and as the headline on my thumbnail promised, I have a pretty major announcement to make. So now, I'm positive that many of you out there want my take on the DCS Golden Sound drama. I get it. I may have something to say about that, but I do want to talk about something that reminds me that this business of high-end audio, you know, the threats, the infighting, and the trolling, the internet is churning with vitriol, and people are taking sides. Well, sometimes life will quickly remind you that these issues, these arguments, are a whole lot less important in the grand scheme of things. So I'm going to start today, the live stream today, with my own story, and this is going to take a little bit, and then we'll get to the chat, trust me, and we'll get to the photos and all that stuff, and the golden sound around that. But just indulge me for a bit, because this is kind of important. Last week, I got laid off. I was driving to the ESPY Awards, and I got called back and told that after September 7th, I'm going to be hired by my show on an as-needed basis. And what that does is it eliminates my guarantee of 5 days of work each week. Ouch. Well, that was fun. So this could potentially reduce my income down to a quarter of what it is today. You know, a little bit of laughing here, but it puts my house in jeopardy. I've spent my life working to get to this house, and now I'm facing the possibility of having to sell, unless I find at least more work, if not an entirely new job. Needless to say, your director is out back shaking the money trees, at least when I'm not rambling on YouTube as I am right now. Now, I know this sounds bad. In the first 24 hours or so, I admit terror was a real emotion. It was real fear, folks, real fear. And my immediate reaction was complicated by the fact that I still had to go out and execute my current job. You see, after getting this horrible, horrible news, I still had to drive back to the ESPYs and field produce the red carpet coverage of the awards, which is, it's 120 degrees outside for about 6 hours. Plus you go backstage after, and that lasted late into the night. I did what I normally do in those situations. I slow down, I focus, and I look for opportunities. And it turns out by doing that, I wound up landing an interview with Prince Harry backstage, which, I don't know if you guys know, in entertainment news, that's like hitting a grand slam in the bottom of the ninth with 2 out and a full count. I just landed this interview while under the weight of this incredibly bad news. But it shows you something a little bit about me, because what emerged out of this fear is something I've relied upon throughout my entire career. And it's probably not what you're thinking. What I fall back on is this unbridled optimism. I am the most positive person you're ever going to meet. You will not hear me tear anybody down. Life is just way too short. If someone is upset with me, if someone doesn't like me, that's okay. All that stuff says, well, all of that just says more about them than it does about me. You know what I mean? I've never been depressed and for any day of my life. Within one day of the news of this layoff, I was turning my attention to others who had an even worse outcome than I did. I was trying to lift their spirits and thereby lifting my own mood above it all, you know? Because even if the worst happens and I lose the house, I'm blessed. I've got a great life. I've never put myself in a position where I have nothing to fall back on. There's a plan B, at least that's what I'm calling it. It's going to require some major changes. But looking at it objectively, I'm going to be okay, whatever happens. The backup plan is pretty damn attractive, even if it isn't my first choice. And then something really cool started happening. People started checking in with me. They were asking how I was doing. Friends, industry people, TV people. And even some of you guys started writing me. And for the past few days, I've been hitting up contacts, people that I've worked with in the past, acquaintances. Through colleagues, you know, you make these connections. And I started getting phone calls. I already have leads and even an interview in the days ahead. This whole situation has shifted. And I now think we could, with an emphasis on could, folks, we could end up being better off than where we were just 7 days ago, you know? It's going to take some time and effort, and yeah, probably some discomfort. More on that in a minute. But that's how you grow. It's a forced situation, but this could be the kick in the butt I needed to launch a second act or a third act, depending on which part of my life you think I'm in. And I believe that more today than I did maybe even just a few days ago. And I have a wife and a mother who love me to death. I have the best brother-in-law on the planet. I have great friends. I've developed this bond with a band of rogue brothers who love music just as much as I do. I have great relationships with people I genuinely love and care for. My life, by any standard, is a rich one. I'm what Tom Wolfe would call a man in full, if you ignore all the chaos from that messy book, folks. Okay, so what does that mean for this show? Well, there will be some major changes. I've sold off the Zale HM1, and I did that with the intent of buying the Ray Samuels B21. Not much of a secret there, I suppose. Ray, by the way, is going to be the guest on this Sunday's Hangover Hangout. $3 will get you an invite. Go to the Patreon link down below. You can ask this industry legend everything you ever wanted to know. And hear all about that amp that I forgot to shoot photographs of before I sent it back. Damn it! Someone actually sent me a complaint that I didn't shoot any wide shots in the video, and I that's because I'm an idiot, guys, and I forgot to shoot photos. All right, so that's that. So yeah, the Zale is gone, and I'm simply not going to replace it for now. $13,000, $12,500 purchase would just be reckless, and I don't mind doing stupid, but reckless, that's going to be a hard pass for me. I won't be purchasing any gear until at least I stabilize my income. Giveaways are going to be on pause. I would normally do one around $6,000, but I just can't. It costs me about $1,000 in shipping per giveaway, and I can't afford that right now. We're just trying to hold on to the house, I'm still going to be doing shows, thanks to the great help from my friends and partners like Audio 46, Rodrigo, Tony. All the guys there have been great about supporting this show from day one. And if you want to support the channel, you can use my affiliate link and go over there, and it's in the description. There's a coupon code, Directors Garage, all one word. You get a percentage off of. You get some savings on most of the stuff that they sell over there. And it sends a small percentage of your purchase back to the show and helps support it. So that'd be cool if you wanted to. If you don't, that's fine. It's okay, guys. We're going to be okay. But I'll be relying on manufacturers like ZMF, Ray Samuels, those guys to send me gear. And I have about a month or two of gears just waiting for me to review it. Like the Caldera closed back, that's coming next. Haven't shot it yet, guys. I'm way behind. You just got to understand I'm in scramble mode right now, just like pulling my contacts and focused on the job. I've got a mystery box from Audio 46. It's going to be something great in that. They always send me something fantastic. And then there's something so killer from Ryan Dietz, my good friend at Mod House, that he set up. I cannot wait for that. There are great shows ahead for us. And once I get back on my feet financially, I'm going to be calling Ray to see if he has any of those B21s still left on the shelf. I'm keeping my fingers crossed, because I'm hoping that this is going to be a short-term problem, not a long-term problem. So that's my story for today, folks. Life happens and we react. We make the best decisions we can. Never stop caring. Never stop being positive forces. I don't have any negativity or hate in me. My job had to make a decision for what's in their best interest. I have to do the same. I still love ET. I love that show. I love the brand. It's been my home for 23 years. And more than anything, I love all the people there. They're my second family, and we've grown very close. I'm the old dude now. When I started, I was the brash kid. And I said this on this show just a couple of weeks ago. I have never, even on my worst day, I've never worked a single day, because I totally enjoy what I do for a living. I'm just heading out on some new adventures, and we'll see where they take me. So that's my story to kick this thing off today. I know we've got a lot of stuff in the chat, but I try to come clean. I want you guys to know what's happening in my world, and sometimes you don't get episodes as often as you want, or as you like, oh, I wish you'd just get that out already. I really want to know about that. And things like this pop up, and this is a big one. This is one of those life things, and you gotta stop and deal and just handle it and move forward and stay positive and send out good vibes to everyone. So that's what we're doing. That's what the point of this happy hour is. And I got to turn the air conditioning on, because guys, I'm just dying in here. Goodness me, someone turn down the heat. All right, let's get to the chat. And we'll go through this stuff. And again, I'll talk about the Golden Sound thing if that's what you're into. If you don't really care, then don't ask about it. It's fine. Okay. Chris says, hey, Neil Snyder. Hey, Michael. Yeah, Neil's got his, I'm sure he's got his B21 by now. I'm very jealous. But I'm very happy for you, my friend. Hi from Poland says, oh my God, I can't pronounce that. What is that? Bjorska? I love the name, man. That is a beautiful name. I'm going to say Bjorska, but tell me if I'm wrong. If you can phonetically put that out there, man, I'd love that. I'd love to know how to pronounce that. I am Jay. Hi, everyone. Epic song, says David Krishna. I know. I love those. I love those things, man. It's the best. Bonjour. Howdy, gents. Sorry to hear about the work situation. I'll send you some Hi-Fi IEMs to review. Hey, man. I've got a lot of stuff sitting here even. That's not going to be a problem. I think that it's just gonna take me some time before I can start. I have to hard hit my contacts and follow up and follow leads. I even have an interview coming that at the end of the week that's very exciting. It could lead to something. Things are really, they're not, I am not a desperate person by any means, and I'm a positive person. I honestly believe that, like, you put it out there and it's going to come back, and it always has for me anyway. And life has setbacks sometimes. You just got to go with it, Neil Snyder tells me that the B-21 is on the burn-in bench. Oh, Ray burns in all of his gear before he sends it out, and the burn-in bench is the last stop before it gets put in a box and sent off to my good friend Neil Snyder. All right. Really sorry to hear about the layoff. Yeah, it happens, folks. Here to support. Sorry to hear. Yeah. It's a bummer, folks. It's a bummer. Oh, welcome to reality. Become a plumber. You'll never be out of work. Woodstock. Cheers to that, my friend. That's awesome. Sorry to hear that. Best wishes. Yeah, thanks, Neil. Appreciate all that stuff, all the support. It's just great. It's a thing. All we can do is just, we have great friendships that we've developed through this stuff. It's been a lift the whole way. We're just handling it like we can, And I like I said, this is nothing that I would want to hide from you guys, because it's like we have, you're gonna be like, what's going on? Why aren't there shows? Why is this? It's like, well, I just put it out there. You guys know what's going on, and you don't have to question, wonder what the heck's happening. All I got to do is get people to watch the show so they know too. Yeah, Ryan, sorry to hear about my optimism is inspiring. Appreciate that. And Ryan and I have known each other for a long time now. He's like, I don't know how to be any other way. Even on my worst day, I've never worked a day. It's phenomenal. It's just worked out that way. And Woodstock says it always works out. Look at him. He's retired, living in the middle of nowhere, surrounded by music, bears, wolves, cougars, and no humans in sight. That's all you need, right? I watch you, hoping that your positive nature runs off on me. Just approach it. It's a gift. We get the gift of these days, and even if I had to move tomorrow, I'm living in a dream house. It's something that I never in a million years thought that I would be able to do. Holly's tearing up a bin over there. If you hear a lot of crunching, that's just Holly being himself. James says you'll be good, Michael. James is a superhero. I don't know if you know that or not, but he's like Clark Kent, and underneath that is a giant S on his shirt, and he's an amazing person. Isoparametrics, sorry to hear about the layoff. It's going around. 2/3 of his global team was let go in the last 6 months. It's not a good time or feeling. No, it's never fun. And part of what you think about when it happens is like, oh man, what did I do wrong? Like, what could I have done better? Because clearly they kept some other people, that weren't me. So, somebody was more valued, or they thought was, and it comes down to what it came down to, I believe, and I don't have any inside knowledge. I don't know what they're thinking. I can't get inside somebody else's head, but I think I was just a very expensive person. I really, I think that I cost more than the other person, and so, you know, it was a straight economic decision. I was lucky that, you know, I got to do what I did, and I got to go to some crazy ass places, and I still may, because I can still go back there on odd occasions to do their more complicated stuff. That's what they want to keep me for. So, you know, we'll see. Hey, Michael, buy XRP. Rumors flowing that they will start producing green god candles soon. Okay. Buy XRP. What is that? What am I missing? Gene Fruit, the comment of the day. I hear there's a marketing position available at DCS. Oh, man. Oh, man. I'm more than willing to talk about that. I'm more than willing to talk about the DCS situation. For those of you who have been living under a rock for the last week, last week, sometime over the weekend or something, there was a Golden Sound, the reviewer, headphone reviewer and equipment reviewer, came out with a video saying that he was being sued by DCS because of a negative review. And it set everybody up in arms. He said, you know, he told this whole long story and backed it up with his version of stuff. My reaction was, that sucks. I think that's terrible. I also think there are two sides to every story, and I didn't want to necessarily just jump on this bandwagon of, I'll never buy another DCS thing, and, you know, DCS can just go away. They'll never sell another product, because they do make really good products. And what his experience was doesn't align with my experience with DCS. And that's not to say that what he said was in anyhow should be discounted or devalued or set aside. But I also went, well, I would like to hear more before just jumping on this Barry's DCS bandwagon, because I think there's probably more to this. And today we found out, I don't know if you guys have been following or not, today we did find out the other side of this. And according to DCS, and again, we can only go by what people say, right? We took Golden Sound at his word. We took Andrew Lismore, who's the headphones.com CEO, founder, by his word. And the word of DCS, we heard from their senior person there. I don't know if it was CEO or what. But he wrote a rebuttal to this. And it was basically saying that there was an employee within DCS who had a personal beef with Cameron, Golden Sound. And he took it way too far without the knowledge of others above him. He didn't have approval to go forward and make the threats he was making. And the CEO said, at no time were we ever going to sue Golden Sound. That was something that this person was threatening. There was no weight behind it. And he called Golden Sound and called Cameron and told him that there was no pending suit. There was no impending suit. He has nothing to worry about. This was a mistake. And the person who made the threats and engaged with him in this back and forth has been fired. Now, is that the truth? It could be. And like I said, I've dealt with DCS myself over the years, and I haven't had any bad experiences with them. If I've had a question, I call them and they give me an answer. I've seen them at shows. They've been more than willing to let me sit down and listen to their best stuff. They seem very nice, like nice people. And as one person pointed out, the shame of it all is that at Can Jam in London, there's probably going to be a lot of people being very rude to DCS salespeople who had nothing to do with any of this. And that's unfortunate. but they're going to take the brunt of it because they're on the front end. They're a face of the company, and people can give them their 2 cents. And that's unfortunate too, because the DCS salespeople, I think, are pretty terrific. They've always been kind to me when I've stopped by their booth. They always do the most elaborate can jam. They put their best foot forward every time. They also have the most expensive gear, some of the most expensive gear. And I'm very fortunate to own the Lena with the master clock. So my feeling is they're going to work out whatever differences they have between them. And I hope DCS has learned a lesson from this, because it's not a good look. And I hope they continue to stress that they were in the wrong in this situation. That's the right way to approach this, I feel. And apologies to Cameron, who probably was pretty stressed out, much like I've been this week. And I think we go forward. And I hope that DCS continues to produce mind-blowing, amazing products. And I hope that Cameron continues reviewing and getting views or whatever it is he's after and for his pursuits in the business. That's my best take on it for a guy with 1/8 or 1/16 of Cameron's following. Not that anybody cares. So that's my take on it. I'm not going to jump on the boycott DCS bandwagon. They have addressed the situation. Just checking with work real quick, making sure they're not asking for something, because I still do work there until September 7th, technically, and I don't want to be dropping balls on anybody. It's good. I mean, I think that it's starting to resolve itself now, and we'll see what the next steps are. We'll see if Cameron accepts the apology and Andrew reconsiders his position. He decided he wasn't going to sell DCS gear at headphones.com, all of that. I mean, all I can say is I have the DCS Lena DAC and clock. I like them. I really like them both. I think they're both just exceptional products in a field of exceptional products. I had several other products. I think the Hollow May is a wonderful DAC. I think that the Weiss Audio 501, I've listened to that. I think that's another one that's just absolute top tier. I settled on this one because I did like the sound of it. And on top of that, I loved all of the streaming features and the way it integrates with Roon so seamlessly. And I can have all my computer stuff shut off, and I can use it as a standalone streamer. That's very attractive to me for what I do around here. So there you go. That's my take on it. And if you guys feel differently, put it in the chat. We'll talk about it more if you want. I'm glad that it's starting to look like we're coming to a close on it, because it was kind of some ups and downs this week. It's really something. Joel Johansson, he'd work with me. Well, damn it, I may need help before this thing is over. Isoparametrics, I was thinking I'll never buy anything from DCS. I don't think I own something from DCS, and I'm not going to sell something because they did a bad thing or somebody inside the company did a bad thing. They fired that person, and, if what they're saying is true, and they had an employee that had a personal vendetta against a reviewer, and he decided to escalate it and make it, and they fired him, I don't know that there's anything more DCS could do. Outside of, and they apologized to Golden Sound and personally called them and said, "Gosh, we're sorry. We didn't know it had escalated to this." And at no point was the management here prepared to do any litigation. And we hope we can solve this and with some conversation and some healing. I mean, that's kind of what I'd want to hear from somebody if that's what went down. So there you go. Catching up, XRP is a crypto token. Oh, see, I'm not crypto. I don't have crypto. I don't have crypto knowledge. Me coming from a cash world, I'm like, that's a scam. And I've missed out on making millions, I'm sure. I could have bought that. Could have bought the house by now if I had invested properly in crypto. Of course, I could have also paid for the house if I'd dropped 15 grand in Apple about 40 years ago. Didn't do that either. The community has been advised. To try to not take it out on the people at the show because they weren't the people who were involved with the fiasco. Yeah, as somebody in the community, I would say the same thing. I'm hoping. His joke, semi-serious, as who knows, right? We all get crypto rich and enjoy luxury audio products. That would be phenomenal. And Dick Sterletter, rip tater chip. Cheers, my brother. Hope everything's going well with you guys. Hey, let's take a pause real quick. I want to show off this viewer system. You know, I'm if you have a viewer system you would like to show the class, oh boy, I don't have the switcher set up for this. Hang on a second, boys. Hang on, let me figure out how to do this. I can do this, and then I can downstream key this one. Yes! If you have a viewer system that you want to show off on this show, we take a look at stuff every Wednesday or whenever we do the live streams. I can't live stream next Wednesday, by the way. I've got a meeting going on from 3:30 to 6 o'clock on next Wednesday. So it will probably be Tuesday or Friday, I'm guessing, if I knew. If I know better. So yeah, but if you have a viewer system, you can send it to me at this one, directorsgarage@gmail.com. I don't know why I like to do that. It just gives me a smile. Okay, we're going to go to a viewer system now, and this is from user Damien. User Damien, not the Omen. Almost there, almost there, almost there. Get there. There we go. Okay, so Damien rocks a Felix Envy, and this is one of my... Oh, I got to take the key off. Hang on a second, boys. Let's just get rid of that. So this is from viewer Damien, and this is his Felix Envy amp, and you can see a Ferrum ore stack over here. I don't know what's going on in the background, and in the foreground, I'm not good on that. That might be... It's not an... It might be a focal. Kind of looks like a focal, maybe. But we'll go through some more of these. Let's see. It'll maybe make itself more clear. I love the Felix Envy. I love the way it looks. I think that this is a beautiful, beautiful amp. I would love to review one someday. If someone send it my way, that's great. Clearly, in the light of the open of the show, the first 5 minutes of this episode of this live stream, you know my situation. It's not going to be something I can go out and buy. But it looks like he has the Wandla too, because there's a middle stack here. That's what I think it is anyway. Three things. Oh yeah, that is a focal. Hey, look at me. I got it right. That is a Focal Utopia 2022, the new one. Looking good, looking good. Carbon fiber yoke, love that. The honeycomb grid, very cool. I have yet to hear this headphone, believe it or not. I have not heard it yet. I love the way he's got his room set up though. I love the tables even, and look at this. I have a few shots of this from my Woo Audio. I did this a couple of times. This is a tube glow when you turn the lights off and you do a long exposure on a tube. There's actually this blue glow going on inside the tubes, and you can't pick it up. It's hard to even, you can see it barely with the naked eye if the room is really, really dark. But you'll pick it up like this with the tubes. I got to do some trick photography. I want to do some stuff like this, but when you add a strobe to it, you can just illuminate the product a little bit too. I want to do something like this in the future when I have time, and I may have a lot of time before we know it. Hey, how's everybody doing? And a black and white. Oh, he went artsy on me, man. He went artsy. Damien, nice work, my friend. This is a 300B tube amp. Those are 300B tubes in the background. And those look like Western Electrics to me, based on my knowledge of Western Electric tubes. Love them. Yeah, those are Western Electric, oh boy, and those are CV181s in the foreground. I know those tubes. Those are from Svein, PS Svein. I don't know how they pronounce their thing, but it's their name. But PS Svein, these are orange base and silver tubes. I had an issue with these in the Woo Audio WA5LE. They may be cleaner here. But in my Woo WA5LE, they were crunchy tubes. They were very aggressive tubes. And for a smooth 300B tube amp, it did not work in my case. But they probably work pretty good here. And he did send me a blurb, which I should probably read through on the air. But I literally only threw these over here just before I went on the air. I was running very late because of, you know, life. But this is nice stuff, man. This is really nice stuff. He's got a great system. Wouldn't this be a great system to just kick back with at night? It's a late night system for sure. You know, I see like winter in this, and you get the tube amp going. He's got a world-class DAC, world-class solid state amp, and just the Hypsos power supply thing. Really nice stuff. Very cool, very cool. Thank you to viewer Damien for sending these our way. What a great system, man. Very good, man. Oh, God, I love that stuff. So again, guys, if you are so inspired, I would love it if you guys sent me your viewer systems. We'll look at them on the show to directorsgarage@gmail.com. And we can get that. We can get your pictures on the way. I just love seeing what is getting other people excited and what's turning them on at home and what are they really enjoying. It's great. It's great, and what a beautiful system. And I love this Felix Envy. I've had some folks in the chat like saying, why is you're biased against. I'm like, I'm not biased against anything. I just haven't heard it, and I don't have a means to hear it unless somebody sends it to me, because I'm broke now, folks. I'm really broke. We laugh because it's funny. We laugh because it's true. Okay. IMJ says, however, each individual will take whatever road they want. Absolutely. Referring to the DCS situation. IMJ didn't prefer DCS products prior to the craziness, and that isn't going to change. That's a fair comment. Thanks for clearing up DCS situation. How much do you want for your Lena? That's great. That's great, man. That's great. Christian Lopez retracted his message. You put that back, my friend. Just kidding. Thanks for stopping by, Christian, man. Hipster Cow says, on the same page as IMJ, just never a fan of their house sign. Yeah, I happen to like it. It's something that just got me really excited. There's a cleanliness to it. There's an airiness to it. Without going bright like some other DACs that I've had in here in the past. It's just such a smooth sound. And with that clock in there, oh my, it's really something. It's really something. Joel says, the super chat. Thank you so much. That's awesome, man. Thank you so much for the 10 spot, my friend. That's great. Doors open and close as long as you have the master key. God bless. Yeah, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate that. That's awesome. That's awesome. IMJ says he doesn't have a beef with them even after all this. I don't know, just thinking it through, it's like, what more do you want? DCS admitted they were wrong, admitted that this employee shouldn't have taken on Cameron and scared him half to death, I'm sure. I know if I was reviewing something and some company, I put out a mixed review on the iFi ISD Pro Signature, the desktop amp. So they're $3,200. And I said, in my review, well, you know, it's $3,200. And if you're looking for something that does all of these things in one box, this is an option. Just keep in mind, A, I wasn't able to make all the things work that it was supposed to do, and B, there is a lot out there at $3,200 that sounds a lot cleaner to me. This is not the cleanest amp I've ever heard. And if, you know, if Hi-Fi had come after me, I mean, I don't know what I would have done. I would have probably felt pretty threatened. And I don't have a company like headphones.com. I also don't have viewers. Hi-Fi's probably like, nobody will see it. It's so funny. Oh, it's great, man. It's great. So, we have fun around here, guys. We do have fun around here. Okay, where are we at? Anthony Berryman says, hey, cheers, Anthony. Welcome to the show. I'm going to take a minute to take a sip here. I've been doing a lot of talking today, including my confessional. If you missed my confessional, go back to the top of the show when we're all done here. I broke some breaking news on the channel that wasn't all that fun to break, but I had to talk about it, man. I had to talk about it. Anthony says they also give him a stack to do whatever he wants with. Oh, you Golden Sun, yeah. I mean, you know, that's good. He's a big reviewer. He's a big name in the industry and a heavy hitter and all that. And, you know, cheers to Golden Sun. I wish him well. I don't always agree with him on what he says on stuff, but I don't care. I mean, like, I have no beef against anybody. I'm like, you know, I appreciate all opinions. The only thing I've ever questioned about anybody's arrangement over there is that I don't know that it's so great to be reviewing the products you're selling, you know, from that aspect of it. But, you know, all the guys over there have always been nice to me. Andrew, not just Lismore, but I think Andrew Park, all those guys, they seem like good guys. DC, DMS, and you know, like the well-known reviewers over there. I'm a nobody in their world. And I like to keep it that way. Cheers, everybody. Hey, man, we are shocked for you, but your supporters love you. Thanks, Christian, man. That's awesome. Appreciate it. Woodstock, anybody? He's thinking of purchasing the Aria Organic. Are they worth checking out? Absolutely. I think the Organic, I think the HE-1000 is a steal right now. I guess it's not the V2 now. It's the Stealth Magnet edition of that. Very good. And HiFiman has some really nice headphones in that area. The one thing I would just say, deference to Ryan Dietz, who's around, is that the best valued headphone in that, you know, like 1,000 to 2,000 range has got to be the Modhouse Tungsten, if you have an amp that can drive them, because that could add on. If you already have an amp in a system and you're just looking to add a really nice headphone, at $2,000, that Modhouse punches so far above its weight. If you have the amplification to push that headphone, that one's a no-brainer. If you don't have the amplification, it becomes a much more complicated discussion, because now you got to add an amp onto that, and what does that set your price point at? You know, there's other things to consider. But that Modhouse is an amazing value at $2,000, provided you have good amplification at home on your desktop. Very good. But yeah, the Aria Organic, nothing bad to say about those. And I think they're probably the prettiest HiFiman, to be honest with you. I think they run circles around the Sesfara, they run circles around the HE-1000 and the SE and all that. Yeah, definitely. So check them out. Absolutely. If you got a chance to hear them first, that's even better. Or use a company like Audio 46 using our director's garage. I'm shameless, because they have a return policy. You have 30 days, send it back and change it out to something else if you don't like it. You know, that's really cool. And there's no restocking fee. That's killer. that's killer. That's like, who does that, you know? It's really good, really good. So that's an option too. But I also say look for used deals, because you can probably pick up that headphone if you're lucky for maybe $800, maybe even $700. Who knows? I don't know what they're selling for. I haven't seen them on HeadFi, but keep your eyes open there, because you know, people are getting rid of headphones all the time, and they'll give you a discount on it, and you may be able to get it into the mid, you know, below the $1,000 point, and a couple $100 even cheaper than that. So keep your eyes open, because used is a viable alternative. It's a viable way to go, and I encourage people to do that. I'm going to turn some volume down because I keep getting hit up. I should see if any of my... Nope. Nobody wrote me. Okay, all right. I sent out some letters today, guys, trying to find work. Nobody's gotten back to me. Damn it. It happens, man. Happens. Anthony Berryman says, sorry to hear about your job, Michael. I'm sure with your experience, you'll get plenty of new job opportunities. Well, I'm sending the positive vibes out there into the world. I've reached out to a lot of folks. I'm hitting up, you know, best thing about this business and the smartest thing I've done in the last 5 years is I've worked more on my relationships than maybe I had earlier in my career. Get to know people more, you know. And once again, it's getting really hot in here. Let's see what's going on. Get to know people and build those relationships, and I'm hoping that bears fruit, and that people want to help me because we've gotten to know each other. You know, you have those industry relationships. So we're keeping a chin up on this in this situation for sure. And the other thing is that when you're going and you're asking someone, hey, you know, would you like to work together? Can we collab on stuff? Can we, you know, find things that, you know, ways that I can help your business, however you're approaching it. Nobody wants you to come in there and go, well, I lost my job, and you know, I mean, like, you can't be that downer person. You can't do it. You're cutting your nose off to spite your face, as they say. That's an old one. I don't know where that came from. Somewhere in the back of my head. Oh, help us all. Isoparametric says, beautiful system pick. Absolutely. I loved all those photos. Damien, nice job. Nice job, buddy. Big applause for Damien. Very cool, man. And thank you for sending in your photos, because not everybody does. That's kind of fun. Isoparametric says he's going to have to clean up his drool from the floor. Very good picks. Yes, agree. Try the Takatsuki 300Bs. That's what I've got in my Woo right now. I switch stuff out every now and then, and the Woo is going to be a main amp around here now for a while. Because I'm kind of between. I do have an idea of what I'm going to do for a solid state amp that won't break the bank, so I can at least have a solid state amp here for reviewing. It's going to take me a few months to get that set up, but I do have there's a plan in place. It's just going to take I got to be patient. I got to be patient, and I got to take measured steps with anything financial right now, because we're threading a very narrow needle. So I have an idea of what I'm going to do. We just need to get there. You know, it's going to take a little time. Isoparametric says his basic system setup: Hugo TT2 from Cord, the Abyss Diana TC Woo audio stand. Lovely. Hey, send us a picture of that, my friend. I want to see a Diana with a Woo combined with a TT2. So you're using the TT2 as an amp then, huh? That's great. It's got a really nice amp inside of it. That's a good idea. I don't have viewers, Eric. I resemble that remark. Yeah, that's all right. It's not a complaint. I like being, I don't know, you know, I know my place. I know this show's not going to, you know, I'm not going to have 1 million subscribers on this show. It would be fun if I did, but that's not really where this show's heading. I think we can all be honest about that and not be over aggressive in our assumptions. Ken Workshop says, so bad. I do think measurements on gear is tough because they're so technical and There are different approaches. It's easier and safer to talk subjective. And I do that on this show. I am 100% subjective. I also think that measurements give you an idea of what's happening, but I think sometimes something will measure terribly that sounds really good. I've seen that, you know. The Enlium 23R does not measure well, but it's one of the most fun amps. I couldn't help but recommend that amp. I thought it was great. It's an amp I'd love to own, especially now. But yeah, I do subjective reviews on this show, and you know, that's part of the problem. Part of the reason probably a lot of people won't come in the door because they're like, oh, he doesn't measure. But I'm like, no, I want to use my ears. I've got ears that are trained. I've been in the music and audio world my entire career, and I trust what's on my head, and that's worked for me so far. It hasn't worked for me to get, you know, 500,000 subscribers or even 50,000 subscribers, but so what? Subscribers aren't everything. I'm in this for the joy, and I bring you guys along on the journey, and I love that you guys feel comfortable enough and safe enough on this show to share your experience regardless of what it is. And there's nothing wrong with you thinking, he's full of crap. Nothing wrong with that. But I'd also ask you to have your mind open that maybe I'm having a different experience than you, because we hear differently, and I enjoy different things about music maybe than you do, or appreciate different things about amplifiers than you do. And that doesn't make me right and you wrong. It just means we value things differently, different qualities differently. And that's all good. It's all good, man. And I wish there was more of this and this discussion. In my experience, I heard this, you know, in my experience, without attacking the other person. Like, I wish there was more of that in the business. And that's why what I love about this show is, like, we actually have honest discussions, and people can feel comfortable sticking their neck out and go, gosh, I heard this and I really didn't like it. And I would go, well, what didn't you like about it? And you say, well, I thought it was bright. And I'm like, okay, I can see that. But in my experience, it wasn't so bright that it sounded just bright enough to accentuate detail without grating on me. So I'll accept that you thought it was bright. I just think that it was also giving it a more of a sense of detail. You know, those kind of exchanges are great. And you can have a pleasant conversation with somebody and I think we could use that in every aspect of our lives right now. There's so much like, you're wrong, I'm right. That's all there is to it. Okay. All right. Well, good luck with that discussion. You got to meet people. And you got to have fun. I mean, you got to have fun. We're getting to hear like the best of the best stuff, and you know, through this show and at home, and you guys are buying some incredible systems that you know, just great stuff. I'm like, how is that not great? How can you not be happy for someone, you know? IMJ just placed his pre-order for the RAL Imanis. After the head-to-head with the Susvara unveiled here at home, the Imanis continued to wow, even over the Susvara unveiled. It almost said Universal. Where's my head at? So fun. Well, cheers to that, MJ. You know, get what you want. Get what excites you, you know? And I hope you can make the Patreon on Sunday, buddy. I always like your input. You always have exciting things to discuss. TK, cheers, TK. Welcome to the show. He just picked up a Black Ice Aries, tube DAC and tube amp. I've seen that Black Ice stuff. It looks good. I've never heard it though. It's making him want to sell his IHA 6 Kenzie Encore DAC and Hugo TT2. I think it's that good. That's awesome, man. I haven't heard any of it. It looks attractive. Looks really attractive. I haven't been able to hear it. But that's great, man. Keep smiling, laughing. Positivity is infectious. I hope so, man. I hope so. I hope it like we can bring people together and celebrate good audio stuff and stuff that we like. Even if it's not for us, still celebrate it. It's good. There's nothing wrong with that. Instead of working for Hollywood, you could go solo and start a YouTube channel. I'll think about a YouTube channel. A YouTube channel, you say? That's not a bad idea. Gene says he's 4th on the Imanis list and should have it within 60 days. He was informed the silver version, the all-silver version he's getting might move him up the list even faster. Very cool. Yeah, a lot of people excited about what's coming out of Raul. That's really good. Gene IMJ says he also ordered the all-silver. Really love seeing it in person. Gorgeous headphone. Absolutely. I just haven't gotten into it. I've had a little bit of a fear about Raul from a purchase standpoint. For me, I'm just afraid that it's got a very specific sound, and I'm going to get tired of it quickly. I mean, I think it's going to be phenomenal for the first month or two that it's here, and then I think I'm going to be like, well, okay, I want to go back to some of these other things that I have a more familiar experience. Maybe, I don't know. That's my fear of it, but I'd love to audition and review any of this stuff. It just sounds great. I mean, and I'm clearly enough of you guys are out there. There's something to it, man. They're doing something special there with the Imanis. Woodstock G, check them out. Where? A 14-hour trip to the nearest audio store that sells them. Woodstock G, you can, what you could do is, if you buy them from Audio 46, for example, I'm not saying you have to, I'm just saying that's my partner in crime, so I'll say that. And I think headphones.com just dropped their, I think headphones.com just dropped their restocking fee as well. So you could probably go through them too. I don't know what their return policy is because I don't, I just am not intimate. I know that Audio 46 has a 30-day return policy. So you can buy the headphone, you can get it home, try it out. You have 30 days to return it with no consequence. So if you wanted, you could try the organic for a couple of days, and if you're like, oh, this is really great, or oh, this isn't for me, I want to try something else, you could send it back and try a different headphone until you find one that you like. And they're really good about that. They want you to be happy with your purchase. That's one of the good things. The thing I love about Audio 46 and my friends over there, Rodrigo and Tony, they're passionate about hooking people up with great stuff that they really enjoy. They're not happy until you're happy. But that's what local guys who are enthusiasts can do. You know what I mean? I'm Jay, local guy just last week. Got his just last week and brought it over Friday so we could listen on his WA-23 in a quiet environment. So that's again the Imanis, I'm guessing. MJ, great tastes. Two A3 tubes and Imanis seem like the optimal balance. Very good. Ace Spades, howdy, just joined in. What'd I miss? Shit. Ace Spades. Just go back to the top of the show at some point. There's about 5 minutes at the top of the show, maybe even longer. I don't know how long that went. I hope it wasn't too boring for you guys. I shared the entire story at the top of the show, and I hope it came out okay. And I hope that you guys are, weren't. I don't want to dump anything. I just want to be honest with you guys, because you're gonna know when something's going on. Something's gonna feel off, and it explains everything. IMJ says, really preferred it sonically to the Felix Envy that Danny had a meet and we had a couple of weeks ago. Had at a meet, I get it. So they had the Felix Envy and the Imanis next to each other, and his vote was for the Imanis. Okay. That's great. I mean, that's the best thing about it, is you can try them out side by side and decide which one's the best. If you like the discussion Michael describes, join the Patreon. Gene Fruit on the plug. We spend hours discussing music and gear. Good times. And that's going to be Sunday, Gene. This Sunday, we're going to have Ray Samuels back. There were questions. The first time around, he's such an exciting and entertaining guy. We kind of like didn't drill down on some of the specifics on the amplifier. So I've always wanted to have Ray back, and last month was too soon. I didn't have the review out yet, and I thought after the review I'm going to book Ray again. And so Ray Samuels is going to be the guest this Sunday on the Hangover Hangout, which is our longer format live hangout. Everybody's got cameras. It's a Zoom arrangement, so everybody can hold up gear, see everybody's faces face to face, exchange ideas. It's not like a chat where somebody can write something and it gets misinterpreted because we're all just communicating back and forth. It's such a great hangout, and best part is I'm the dumbest guy in the room. Like, these guys are so sharp. Everybody knows what they're talking about, and everybody brings something a little bit different. There's always good questions asked and a great exchange. So it's really a good time, and I encourage you guys. It's just $3. It's the cost of a cup of Starbucks, maybe even less than that. I don't drink Starbucks, so Lord knows we're not going to be going out for coffee runs. Coffee is going to be, sink water filtered through a sock with some coffee in it. Just kidding. It's not that bad. Time takes care of brightness. Yeah. I'm Jay, 100% agree. Hangover Hangouts are fantastic. Y'all need to join. Yeah. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be a lot of fun this Sunday, folks, 9:30 a.m. Pacific. So it's a morning thing. We can get late morning for some guys. You'll be out before the afternoon and stop by for a little bit, stop by for a long time. The other thing that I do is I record all of those. So anybody who joins the Patreon, I will send you links to all of the past Hangover Hangout episodes. So you can actually go back in your spare time and watch like an interview or a Hangover Hangout we did with Zach from ZMF or and any of these other guys that we had. We had a rep from Noble Audio talk about IEMs. It was a really interesting episode. Some good stuff. You can get a chance to experience it all. And hopefully we'll get some other folks. And we also have surprise guests. Ryan's usually there from Mod House on a basis. I always send an invite out to him. And Zach from ZMF has dropped by on occasion too. So you get those surprise celebrity drop-ins from around the world. It's a good time. Really fun. Okay, enough of that. I don't need to plug my stuff. I'm passionate about it, and I love the more people we get over there, the more fun we have. Good time, guys. Ace Spade says, yep, we need to learn a bit of grace to give people the benefit of a doubt. Even if he disagrees with someone's opinion on hi-fi, he's just happy to have them in the hobby. Absolutely. And I'll give an example, Say that you are a lover. And I know people that are passionate about the Focal Utopia. Like, just think like the speed of that headphone. It's got such detail. It's phenomenal. And then I have other people I know that say, oh my God, is that thing bright? It's just too bright. It's, whatever. Well, so the other guys say, I would much rather go with ZMF Atrium. Just throwing it out there, as an idea. ZMF Atrium, it's more balanced. It's got better sub. It goes, go like that. I want both of those headphones available to all of us, because I like having the option. And if everybody just bought the ZMF Atrium, Focal would go out of business or stop making headphones pretty fast. So I'm glad that there's different tastes out there to satisfy. It makes a richer pool from all of us, for all of us to sample from. And we get to try all these different headphones with these amazing different sounds. Maybe the sound's not for you, but it's like, boy, I'm sure glad it's available to someone who really is looking for that specific tone, that specific sound. Makes it great. So yeah, I really, I can't say enough about it. I love hearing people that are passionate about their gear, and it's even better when everybody just opens it up and says, this is what I think, but, my friend's guy just swears by this, and I heard it, I didn't really care for it, but he swears by it, and it's great. More, it's great. Jarek says, bad day, but this show makes it better. Jared, go back to the top and watch the first 10 minutes. I'll give you a bad day. It's all right, my friend. Welcome and cheers, and I hope you can kick your feet back in our remaining minutes here. I don't know if we're going to go too much longer. It looks like we're running out of chat stuff, so very good. Oh, Ken Workshop can't make it this Sunday. Oh, Ken, I'm sorry. Oh, and he had such good questions. Ken, if you send me a list of some things you'd like to know about, I know you had a question about the protection circuit on headphones with the B21. I'll make sure I get to those questions, so at least you'll get the answer on the playback. Just send me a note of anything you want me to ask Ray, and I'll make sure we get answers, because I know last time was like we were so enjoying ourselves and hearing his stories and his passion for this hobby. It was like, he'd start to give us an answer on something, and then it would be like squirrel, and we'd go off in another direction. And I realized at the end of there were about 5 or 6 questions we just never got answers to, but it was so entertaining. And he's such a gregarious person. I'm saying gregarious, like a chant. Amazing. Amazing, folks. IMJ says the Amana sound is fantastic. It's thicker than an E-stat, but just as fast as an E-stat. Has dynamics that rival a lot of dynamic drivers, but bass extension like a planar. Fantastic, man. That sounds wonderful. I hope I can get one in someday. I would love to. I don't, I heard them and they have a very specific sound, and I was just concerned at the show when I sat down and listened to them. It sounded impressive to me, for sure. I was a little worried, though, that I would get tired of that sound because it's a very specific sound. So, I don't know. But you could say that, I suppose, about any headphones, so maybe not. We'll see. And I'm sorry, Ken, you can't make it, man. But we'll represent for you, buddy. And Ken builds his own amps. Like, who does that? He's just like, I'm going to go build this thing, and it's going to have, oh my God. He showed me like an updated volume pot, and I'm like, holy cow. Like, that's insane. It's insane. It's so cool, though. It's so cool. Amazing stuff. Amazing stuff. IMJ says, won't be there, but we'll be watching the recording. Oh, I'm sorry, IMJ. That's too bad. Again, if you have any questions for Ray, just send them my way. I'll be happy to ask them, and you'll get it in the playback. No problem. Adam Murray says, pitch him a cable to pair with ZMF Aegis Focal U22 Matrix Audio Mini Pro, something hybrid that will look and feel amazing. Well, let me see. I think, boy, Zach's latest ZMF cables are really nice. And they're expensive, but they're not like crazy, like Kimber cable expensive. So that might be an option. That could be something. I like the ZMF cables. And then the other thing I would say is I just love this guy and I love his cables, and I still have a cable here that I've been meaning to send back and re-terminate, but life is just coming at me 100 miles an hour right now. It's amazing. JTB, my brother, go watch the beginning of the show. I appreciate you, man. Thanks for the pizza. I love it. We may do just that. So appreciate it. Thanks, buddy. Check out Trevor Norn Cables. Get in touch with Trevor. He's phenomenal and really builds a beautiful cable with great. You can get a number of different ways, but it's right here. Trevor's been on my ass to send this back because it's got the Dan Clark terminals, connectors. It's terminated in a Dan Clark connector. And I don't have any Dan Clark headphones anymore. Imagine that. So he's been hitting me up he goes, dude, this is like, it's cable will cost you more than $1,000. Make sure you send it back to me and I'll re-terminate it any way you want. So I was thinking about doing it with maybe, because I have so many good Audeze ZMF / Meze cables, and I've got this super expensive Kimber hybrid, the $2,500 cable. I've got that with that terminator. I was thinking this would be a good cable to terminate with the ZMF 1/4-inch plugs. So I'm probably going to send that back to him and have him do it. Why not? Very good. Yeah, Parametric says stay positive. So those would be my 2 cable recommendations. Check ZMF and then check Norn with Trevor at Norn. And he's a great guy. Pardon me, burping. Trevor will hook you up. And look at this. I mean, this connector sold me on the entire thing. This little Y connector. It's like, I don't know, it's like Iron Man's. It's just, it's so great. Great cable. Thick. You know, get something. You get something for your money. Parametric says, well, stay positive, stay good vibes, take action, and trust the universe will provide an opportunity next step. I totally am. And I believe in my heart that this is going to all work out the way it should. And that it's not a setback. I'm not viewing it as a setback. I'm viewing it as an opportunity. You know, that's the thing. This is an opportunity. So really good. Gene Fruit can't make it either. Day 1 of a 500-mile bike ride. Wow, Gene. Cheers, brother. Bring water. Oh, goodness. I'd love to do something like that, though, and my gut would, too. I've got some serious bikes. Director was a bike builder for a number of years as a hobby. I've got some really... I'll pull those out sometime. I'll show them off on one of the live streams. But I built a Pinarello frame with all campy record. This is about maybe 8 years ago. It's an older frame now, but it was, you know, like brand new back then. It was, Pinarello prints, gorgeous lines, red, white, and black theme, and it's with an accent. It was more of a white bike with red accents. Oh, so good, so good. And then I have a vintage Colnago C40 from 2000 with the B-stay triangle. I love those bikes. All carbon fiber. It was the shit bike in the year 2000, 1999. Everybody on the tour was loved that. If you weren't riding Trek, you were riding Colnago. I mean, it was the bike to have, and it's so responsive. It's such a great bike. Yeah, so good, so good. Yeah, Gene, we're gonna have to talk about the bicycles. We go all over on this show. Who knew? Neil Steiner says he'll join the Patreon. He'll join the Patreon chat on Sunday. Does he need to wear clothes? Clothing optional, I guess. You're gonna be waist up. You know, it's Zoom. You can do what you want. You know. Adam Murray, thanks for the rec. No problem, buddy. Cheers. Enjoy what you got, man. That's great. That ZMF Aegis, if I was buying a tube amp today, I said this in the review, that would be the tube amp I'd want today if I was buying one from scratch. I just happen to have one that's really expensive and sounds quite similar in the Woo Audio WA5LE with all the tubes on that. It's super high-end tubes in there. I showed those off on a Patreon. If you subscribe, you'll get one episode. I go through my entire tube blocker on the back end of it. Very fun. Yeah, please do. Let's talk. Yeah, absolutely. You talk bikes, talk anything, my friend. And I've also built an electric bike too. That was one of my most favorite things I built. I had an old Trek mountain bike, and I'm not like somebody who's going to be doing a lot of trail riding. And after looking at it and the way it was set up and built, I thought this is a perfect candidate for electrification. So I bought an aftermarket kit and I put it on there, and the thing will do like 40, 45 miles an hour on a bicycle. Oh my God. More power. Why did that thing? My wife, Mrs. Director told me I couldn't have a motorcycle after we were married, and the one mistake I made prior to marriage, boys, is I didn't have a motorcycle already in the garage, because I had my last bike had gotten stolen, and I never replaced it. So I couldn't have a motorcycle, so I built a death trap of an e-bike. That is so fun. It is such a riot. It's instant torque. The thing pulls like no tomorrow. And it'd probably kill me if I wasn't careful. But I built the whole thing up. I put like disc brakes on it. I made it into like a real rideable electric bike. But it is so fun. That thing is just a blast. Oh, guys, that's awesome. Adam says Norn Vanguard 2 on his mind. We'll check out ZMF. Yeah, do. Great stuff. ZMF just redid their, in the last year, redid their cables, and I really like them. I think they're great. And Zach is, he's attention to detail guy. It's really good. Gene will send some of his bike builds. That's phenomenal. Your review was influential in his decision on the Aegis. Yeah, you're not going to be disappointed by that amp. I promise you that. It's really good. Neil says, believe it or not, he sold bikes for 2 years. Oh, great. His company was called Velocity Commuting Solutions. Fantastic, man. That's awesome, Neil. Ken's Workshop says, fun off-topic bike fact. We're just going down the bike rabbit hole. We're losing Hipster Cow because of it. He's like, I don't hear about e-bikes. So funny. Fun off-topic fact: Shimano 11-speed cassette is the same spacing as a Campy 11. He runs a Campy wheel with Shimano. Don't you need an adapter though for the nut on it? I don't know. I think I had to put a spacer in mine for some reason. I've done that, but I just bought the Campy stuff because it's, yeah, I just bought all Campy stuff because it's an Italian bike, seemed like the way to go. I have Campy on my beater, my daily rider. I have Shimano, on my daily rider. I have a Shimano Ultegra set on. I have a Klein, boys. I don't know if you guys know anything about Klein bikes. Unfortunately, it was a boutique bicycle maker in the 90s, and they got bought out by Trek, and they just destroyed the company, unfortunately. But it's a beautiful bike. I love Klein. And I bought Gene, you have a Klein Purple Haze. Yeah, I bought my wife a Purple Haze Klein. And that one I outfitted with Shimano, what's the top Shimano? Dura-Ace. I outfitted that with Dura-Ace on that. So we can talk about a lot of stuff, guys. Hipster Cow, cheers, brother. Thank you so much for stopping by today. We're going to start wrapping this show up. It's 4:50. Refreshed with Campy 11. Yeah. I'm a big fan. I just it's fun to tinker with. I'm a mechanical guy. I would do cars too. I know for a fact Ken is a car guy too. I would do cars. The scale is too big for me. I don't have anywhere to put them. So, but I was really into bicycles, and I love building a super light bike that just flies like the wind. It's so fun. I got to redo those bikes a little bit because I'm sure the bearings all need to be repacked and stuff because it's been a number of years since I rode. Just no time life gets busy and whatever. Might have a little more time coming up. Hey, everybody. So glad you guys could stop by today. Thank you guys for the super chats. I do definitely appreciate that, guys. You guys are really appreciated. And yeah, the plan is I'm going to try and get the review of the ZMF Caldera closed back next week, maybe by Thursday. I don't know. I just understand I'm just at a point when I got to take care of business a little bit, fellas. So that's you know, but that's going to be the next review. We'll have a mystery box from ZMF, and that package from Ryan that I was speculating about arrives tomorrow. Tomorrow there's something extra mind-blowing special coming to the Director's Garage, and we're going to be doing a full review of it. So excited. Can't say more, but Ryan, just the best. Jerry Seinfeld had a Klein. Yeah, that green one in the hallway. That was a mountain bike. But I had the road bikes. Okay, guys, thank you so much for stopping by the Director's Garage today. Go back and watch the top of the show if you came in late. There's an announcement there that's kind of, you know, businessy about the channel, and I spilled my beans, spilled my guts, and you'll learn a little bit about what's going on with the show. And if not, I will see you guys next week. It's going to be an off day. It will not be a true Hump Day happy hour hangout because I already have something going on at 3:30 next Wednesday. So it'll shift a little bit. We'll figure it all out as we get close. Patreon Hangover Hangout this Sunday. Geez, I said I screwed it up. Patreon Hangover Hangout this Sunday. Ray Samuels, the great Ray Samuels, will be at that hangout. And then, you know, our normal cascade of guests. So please, if you have not yet, try to be there. Subscribe to the Patreon. $3 will get you in the door, guys. And I'll see you guys before you know it. Thank you so much for stopping by today. Yeah, what a day. What a day. Cheers, everybody. I got to get off the air somehow. Where are we going? Everyone. Nope. Oh, I got problems. All right, we'll go to this one.
Now let's bring it on one time. Let's all get drunk. Let's all. Whoa, I said let's all get drunk at the director's garage.